All right, guys, I am still in Arkansas. We are here at actually a game exchange. Now, I don't actually have game exchanges in North Carolina, so I only get to visit this place when I'm in Arkansas. So I figured in today's video, we will go to 4 different game exchanges, as there's 4 in Arkansas that are pretty close together. Not really sure what to expect here. I know last year when we did this, we got some really cool stuff. I remember finding a Spider-Man Web of Shadows strategy guide, which that's my favorite game of all time. So really cool to have that. And then we also got some really cool Switch games. So I'm curious to see if this store is gonna be good at all, because the one thing I will point out, this is the one that's literally like 5 minutes away from Retro Rick store. So I don't think we're actually gonna find anything at this one. I think at the other locations we'll find a lot more, but who knows, we might get surprised. Let's check out this game exchange. Wow, okay. Very surprised to say that they actually have a lot of Switch 2 stuff. I mean, they got Star Wars Outlaws. This game has only been out for about a month for the Switch 2, and it's right here, which is very surprising. And then, you know, Mario Kart World, got it for 70 bucks right there. And Star Wars Outlaws was 50 bucks, so that's $10 off. Donkey Kong Bonanza, that's obviously a big Switch 2 game for a lot of people. Very surprised because they have a decent amount of this stuff, and I mean, I don't know how trade-in credit works at Game Exchange and places like Retro Rex, but I would have liked to have thought that these type of games would have been at Retro Rex first, that people would be like, oh, I should trade it there. Maybe Game Exchange gets better credit, but I would have thought the other way around with Retro Rick. I don't know, maybe people don't even look at that. There's like game stores near me and they just find a place called Game Exchange and that's where they decide to trade it in. Curious to know the mindset of that. Then they have all of these Switch games right here, which it's an okay amount. I've seen other game exchanges with more, but I'm gonna look through this and see if I find anything good. All right, so the first thing that I noticed after reviewing the Switch games is they actually had this right here, which used to be one of the more harder to find Switch games. It's been reprinted, so I'm seeing it more often now at GameStops, but it's still cool to see this here. In terms of everything else, they have your typical first party stuff, a lot of Mario, a lot of Pokemon. Very still surprised by the Switch 2 selection. In terms of things that I'm wanting to buy, I was looking at this Resident Evil, but they have it for $22.99. I've seen that go for about 15 bucks before, so I don't think it really makes sense to pick that up here. They also have Terraria, which they're selling for $28. I've also seen that be a $20 game. This is a game I would really like to get at some point, but not at that price tag. I do see that they have Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. I don't know what the price tag is. I really want to get this game for maybe under $30. I don't think they're going to find it for under $30, but maybe we'll find it right here for a good price. $44.99. That's probably the best price tag that I have seen that game. That's actually low-key considering that, because this is one I really want to get. I know they just did a Switch 2 update to it, so I'm very intrigued into picking that one up at some point. But in terms of everything else, I don't think I'm going to pick anything else up. Not at this one at least. I think at other locations we'll see me pick up stuff. I'm very much surprised by what they have here, considering that we are, once again, 5 minutes away from Brick Store. I also see that they have this. This is quite the cover. Street Power Soccer, 50 bucks, brand new. I have never heard of this game before in my entire life, but I think we're gonna get ready to head to the next location. All right, so a lot has changed over the last few hours. I say hours because you're probably confused now that I said hours, but if you look, it is totally different outside. It is darker now. And now I believe we are in, camera person, is it Hot Springs? Okay, so we're somewhere, I think Conway, that game exchange. We were telling the game exchange employee what the plan was, and basically the game exchange employee wrote out a list of game exchanges to go to, and this is apparently the best one. I'm not gonna lie, this might be the smallest one that I've ever seen, and I hope it is good because we drove almost 2 hours to get here. So yeah, but the plan is, I think this is kinda on the way to the other game exchanges. because the plan is to go to 4 in this video. So this one's gonna be the furthest out, but on the way back, from what the Game Exchange employee was saying, we'll be able to hit the other ones. I don't know, let's go ahead and check and see what they got here. We drove almost 2 hours for this. Okay, let me review this and see if I can make something good out of this. I have found truly something that is going to have everyone speechless. I first saw this. It's like, huh, I don't think I've heard of that Switch game before. I pulled it out. This is what I see. I don't know, should I pick it up? This was definitely something I didn't expect to find today, and something I didn't know that existed. They actually have something really cool, but it is ridiculously high. That is Shakedown Hawaii. This was the last Wii U game ever out, and then they brought it to the Switch. And it might have been the last Wii game, or it might have been Just Dance that did that. I don't remember, but that is ridiculously high, almost 90 bucks. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I have never felt so defeated before, especially since I traveled almost 2 hours to this location. I was trying to make something out of that. Like, I was like, please, a $5 game, $10 game that I've never seen before. And I guess I truly did find something that I never saw before, which was what we showed on camera. But yeah, let's go to the other locations. Hopefully there's something really cool there. All right, we have arrived to our 3rd game exchange. Let's go inside and check out the Switch games. All right, not gonna lie, it is a smaller selection than what I'm used to seeing. However, I am seeing some things that I don't typically see. Like this right here, City Skylines. That's one that I have not seen out in the wild much. I've seen it at conventions, but in terms of game stores, haven't seen that. Japanese game right here. Maybe it's gonna be something really cool. Oh, that is actually a pretty big deal for a lot of people. Front Mission 2. I don't care about getting it because I don't have the first one. Probably down the road, I will want to get that. Oh, Tattoo Milestones 2. I have not seen the second one. I didn't know there was a second one out there. Huh. That's interesting. And I think that is pretty much it when it comes to all the really interesting games out of this selection. Oh my god, there's roaches in here. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh my god. It's gone. Where did it go? Okay. So we're here still at the Game Exchange. We're definitely about to leave now. We're definitely about to leave now. I was holding this. Saw that. Okay, I'm going. All right, we're gonna go ahead and head to the next Game Exchange. Let's go. Camera person, let's go. All right, guys, we are at our 4th Game Exchange. We're gonna try to hurry up on this one because we found another one that's close by. So we're gonna have potentially 5 Game Exchanges all in one video. This is one that we have visited before, and I honestly don't remember how I felt about this one. So let's go ahead and go inside. All right, so we're here at the Switch games. I actually see something that I do want to pick up. This is gonna shock a lot of people. Justice League Cosmic Chaos. Cooper Andrews, a friend of the channel, is actually in this. So I don't have this game, and hopefully I'll see him again next year. So I think I want to get this signed and have on the shelf and have it like signed to MonadoMax, stuff like that. 14 bucks is the best price that I've seen. As y'all see, they have a lot of Switch games. They also have a lot of Switch 2 games. Loads of Mario Karts right here. I mean, look at this stack of Mario Karts. All of that is just Mario Karts for the Switch 2. In terms of other stuff that I am seeing, nothing too crazy. This is one that I want. No, actually, that is not what I thought that was. Never mind. I am not seeing anything too crazy, I don't think. They have some other high-end Switch stuff over at the front, so I'm gonna see what it looks like at the glass of those higher-end Switch games. All right, first of all, you got Super Mario 3D All-Stars. It's cool to see. Right beside it, you got not one, but two copies of Shantae's and the Pirate Curse, which if you guys don't know, that is one of the most expensive Switch games. There's probably gonna be people asking, do I have that game? I don't have that one. It's the last Shantae game I'm missing from a full set. But also, you can't tell with all the games right here, but they actually have the Fire Emblem Three Houses Collector's Edition right here for $150. I think that is actually an amazing price. However, I don't care about getting the collector's edition of that. But overall, great selection of Switch games. This is probably the best one out of all the locations that we've been to so far in today's video. So let's go ahead and pick this up and head to our final location. All right, so we are here at the last game exchange in today's video. That makes it 5 game exchanges all into one video. I believe last year, this was one of the best game exchanges we were at in last year's video when we did this. We're running low on time. They close in like 25 minutes, so let's go ahead and get inside and see what cool stuff we can find. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Pretty small selection, but they do got some good games. I mean, you got Balatro right here, phenomenal game. You actually have, oh, this is actually one I'm looking for. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. That will be one that we're picking up. I know that's gonna surprise some people. I have almost every Five Nights at Freddy's game for the Switch. So I feel like this would also be great for the Switch 2 to test to see how it runs on the Switch 2. Because I think this game runs bad on Switch 1. So I think that one will be very interesting. Switch 2 stuff, nothing crazy. Then I got Travis Strikes Back Again, No More Heroes. That one's a little bit more of an uncommon one that you don't see all the time. And then Star Wars Pinball. That's not a hard to find game, but that's one I don't see all the time. But I think that is going to do it for me when it comes to Switch games. Double checking one last time. Yep, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna check around the store, see if there's any other cool stuff. Guys, check that out. They have the Splatoon Inkling statue. That is actually only sold at Nintendo San Francisco. Right there in the red box right there. Right beside Sonic. I cannot believe what I'm looking at right now. I'm gonna see how much they're selling that for. Good chance I'm gonna buy that. I will let you guys know when we leave because we'll find out if I bought it or not. All right guys, so we are just leaving. I have decided to pass on getting the Five Nights at Freddy's game and I got the Inkling. This actually didn't come from San Francisco. They do sell these at San Francisco, but looking at the back, we later realized that this is the one from Japan. Now, if you guys aren't aware, Nintendo Japan stores are the ones that are the new structure when it comes to the upcoming Nintendo stores. And that's this like red layout. And then they're selling statues of like Mario, Link, Animal Crossing, all sorts of Nintendo franchises. I think they were selling them for about 50 bucks, their currency, which is like translated to 50 bucks ours. So really happy to have this, especially since I don't know if I will ever go to the San Francisco store. One of the reasons is I don't like flights. That would be the longest flight I've ever taken. So that would be a big thing for me to do. So we got this. This is probably the pickup that we got, like pickup of the week goes to this right here. And then in terms of what else we bought at game exchanges, Justice League Cosmic Chaos. I'm gonna have my friend Cooper Andrews sign this probably next year. He voices Aquaman. I don't know if I pointed that out in the video or not. Okay. All right, guys, that is all my pickups from game exchanges. Let me know what you think. What was your favorite game exchange that we went to? You know, I don't think we called them by what location they are at, so you'll have to go game exchange 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the comments, and that's how we're gonna decide what was the best one. Without further ado, make sure to backslash that subscribe button, like the video, check out the Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all that good stuff in the description below. Become a Monado Marine, $5 a month, helps out the channel tremendously, especially now that my bank account is definitely in the red after today, especially after that purchase. I mean, look at this. It's red for a reason. It demonstrates my bank account. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. You know what? I'm not gonna make this trip useless. I'm gonna end up getting a video game after all. Game exchange, it's been fun. See you next year.